Welcome back to Between the Lines on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's time for our weekly chat with Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith. Chiefs and Chargers coming up Sunday at noon at Arrowhead Stadium. And if things settled down a little bit this week, a little calmer than last week. It was kind of wild around here, wasn't it?
Yes and no. Certainly from a media standpoint, things certainly calmed down from last week.
You guys, it's such a business of routine and process and things like that. Does the process feel any different in a week like this compared to what all the buildup was last week? Or are you completely insulated and everything's the same every week?
You try to keep it like that. Last week, no question. Not just because of the media. We knew it was a big game. The atmosphere was a little different. Not to say they're all not big, but Sunday Night Football, division opponent going against Denver, a lot on the line. That was a big game. The crazy thing is, the media attention, it's not all built up. It's still a huge game, though. We got San Diego coming to town. This game's just as meaningful, if not more. So, really kind of, I think, a focus in the other sense, like you're saying, media not here, but still got to bounce back quick, can't have a letdown.
There's a lot of guys on this team obviously played in huge games in college, but maybe haven't been on the spotlight in the NFL or been in the postseason for that matter. What'd you learn about your football team last week? Forget the outcome of the game and the whole thing. Did you learn anything about these guys and where you are?
I think you're right. I think it was a great experience for us. Coming away from that, just playing in a game like that, that was probably as close as you're going to get to a playoff atmosphere in a regular season game as it's going to get. So, great experience. I think the thing you come away with is no question. You look on the film, especially offensively. Our troubles were so much self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You look on film and so many self-inflicted wounds and it really hurt ourselves for the majority. Not to say obviously they had a great game plan and played really well, but I really look back on the film and I think all of us did offensively as a group look back and so many little things that all affect execution. So then I think the other things you look back in a game like that emotionally, what it takes. As a team coming into that, the emotional deal's a little different in a game like that, a Sunday night game. Those types of things. I think that's what the great experience was about it.
Andy gave you guys a chance to go win the game, I thought, at many points. You took some chances downfield. It was a different looking offense. I think a lot of people really respect that because the game plan in so many games this year had been, we'll play a little defense, take care of the ball. This other team's going to mess up. You probably can't do that against the Broncos, so that was kind of different. It felt like offensively you guys pressed it a little bit. Was that exciting or different for you? And where do you feel like you are in the continuation of trying to make more big plays as the season goes on?
Well, that's always such a week-to-week thing. You can't. Of course, hey, we'd love to go deep all the time, but it's such a week-to-week matchup thing. How do you match up? Not just offensively, but as a team as well, like you said. And it's stuff that, no question. I think as far as the game plan, as far as really calling a lot of our stuff down the field, those are certainly things that we have in a lot, but. Yeah, for whatever reason, they don't all come out. And, really kind of shot all the bullets, that were up for last week's game. And, kind of needed to. It was one of those games, we got trailing there, especially in the second half. Really thought there in the third quarter, we had a chance to make that game tight, and we're unable to, and that's what kind of separated the game, I thought, there was the third quarter. So, I think we had some good matchups. We felt good about taking some shots, and didn't hit enough.
Yeah.
So.
I know it's hard to go for 4th and 7s in the NFL. The percentage rate can't be very good, but you must have wanted to at that point. You're down 14 with about 12 minutes to go. You lobby hard for something like that? You get involved in that? How badly did you want to try to go for the 4th down? You're at the 4th.
Not my call.
Right, I know.
I knew it was a potential deal there. I knew we were maybe in 4-down territory. And kind of even figured that based off the 3rd down and what was going on. We were in 3rd and long and then got to 4th and manageable there and thought maybe it was coming. It's coach's call. That's his.
You would have
deal,
loved
so.
to, right?
I certainly think there was a possibility there. I do get, pinning them deep. All of a sudden maybe you pin them down in there deep inside the 10 and you get a stop and you get a great field position back. Who knows? In hindsight, it's easy. Sure, we should have gone for it.
And you probably felt like you shouldn't have been in that spot. Again, a self-inflicted deal. You guys were in good field position at 1st and 10, and then you find yourself 4th and 7.
Yeah.
It was a tough game, and you're going to get another shot at it in a couple of weeks, I know. But it's all just sitting there, man. You're still sitting at 9-1. You're tied for 1st place, and everything is still.
Yeah, still everything. Yeah, we control our own destiny. Everything's still in front of us. So, that's the thing, and I think this team understands that, and you learn from the loss. you know, and get better from it. And we got another division game, and we understand how big this one is, you know, another division game coming in, and got to get back on track.
I asked Andy today in his news conference, you know, the fine line between preaching to an offense ball security, which is, you know, job one. You can't go turn, you lead the league in turnover margin. That's been huge. It's a big reason why you're 9-1. And trying to make big plays. I won't ask you the balance between that, but I want to know how you practice big plays. How do you get better at either hitting the ball downfield or popping big runs like we saw Jamal had the one run? Is there any way, how do you practice and get better at making big plays in this league? It seems to me like everything's repetition, but that's got to be a hard thing to get good at.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have to practice it, but it's hard to always practice those game situations. You know, especially as the year goes on. You have such limited reps as the year goes on to get you can't get every look accounted for. And then in practice, I mean, a part of this at this point in the year is you know, keeping guys fresh and keeping guys healthy. So in the manner you practice, you can't always get the you know, the crazy tough catches in traffic. I mean, because we don't necessarily want a lot of traffic out here on the practice field. I mean, I think that's how, you know, so that's how bad things happen. So there's a fine line there, but certainly, I mean, you're trying to practice it. We aren't tackling and at this point in the season, so you can't really simulate yak and breaking long runs like that. So it's tough. I mean, a little bit of that's just kind of got to come from being a football player, from doing it your whole life.
You got a couple of guys in here now from San Francisco that you played with. What was your input in that? What do you like about these guys as targets?
Yeah, you know, a little input just as far as when they came and talked to me about certain things. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, you know, hey, Kyle got released. What did you think of him? Stuff like that. You know, really other than that, you know, that's out of my hands as well.
They speak very highly of you both.
Yeah, but you know, I was shocked to see Kyle get released. You know, just a player his caliber was really shocked, and you know, fortunate enough that we got to get him on waivers. I think a huge pickup for us. So you know, really kind of you have to learn fast,
right?
But I think it could be a great addition for us.
You've worked with him, that helps. It has to speed it up.
And you know, I think it kind of helped translate a little bit some of the differences, because there's a lot of similarities from what he was running there in San Fran, but there's some differences as well, and help maybe kind of translate that carryover.
All right, San Diego Chargers are up Sunday at noon. You're going to play them twice here down the stretch as you try to win this division.
Yeah.
They're an interesting team. You know, I kind of describe them as a team that's just good enough to lose. Their stats are good. I mean, Rivers is having his quarterback ratings off the chart. They rack up yards. Their scoring defense isn't horrible, but they're just not winning football games. What do you see?
I think the thing to look at this team is, like, I mean, wipe away the record and just turn on the tape, and you kind of feel differently.
Yeah.
You know, you look at their, you know, maybe look at the record, you're like, oh, you know, it's so-and-so, but I mean, wipe the record away. Don't look at the record and just turn on the tape, and they're a good football team. And I think it kind of speaks to that they've just been in a ton of close games. If for whatever reason they've ended up on the wrong side of a lot of them, but this isn't a team that's gotten blown out by any means. Certainly beat some good football teams. Beat Dallas, beat Indy. So, you know, very capable football team. And then you look at it, like I say, you turn on the tape, and that's what you see. You see a well-coached football team, a team that plays fast. You know, no question. And like I said, it's a division game, so these games are huge.
It's funny because I looked at their stats, I looked at their scoring defense, I'm like, okay, I've watched them play quite a bit this year, and they're always in a close game, and it's always somewhere around 20 points. I'm reading a columnist in San Diego, he says, this is the worst secondary they've ever had in San Diego, and all they do is miss tackles. And I thought, well that's a little harsh maybe on this bunch, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think they're a defense that, like I said, I mean, you look at some of the stats and it can be deceiving. They're certainly a well-coached group. They've had some injuries there in the secondary, some different guys kind of rotating in, but you know, more than capable. They have a ton of volume. They do a lot. Seems like everybody's coming at some point or another. You know, so it'll be a good challenge for us.
Go get the Chargers, then go Patriots Sunday night, right? It's easy formula. Go get first place back, okay?
Right.
Good to see you, Alex.
Appreciate it.